Welcome to Home Dad Chat, brought to you by the National At-Home Dad Network. My name is Brock,
My name is Danny.
and we are here to talk about life as stay-at-home dads. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
No, I don't want much. I even love handmade crafts made of macaroni. Come on now, you should know me. Times I might eat too much. No worry about my weight. Got the dad bod rocking on me. Sketches on my feet. Cargo shorts look good on me. I'm a dad, that's what I do.
Hey, Danny, how you doing today?
Doing good, Brock. How's your day been?
Can't complain. It's been pretty good so far. So didn't have anything crazy happen. Kids all still alive. So it's been a good day.
Yeah, I count that as a good day.
Hey, so it's kind of a fun little question, but what's for dinner?
Oh, well, let's see. Tonight it's Tuesday, so it's Taco Tuesday. Boom, gotcha.
That's easy. Taco Tuesday. Oh man, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't do my days like that. I don't know. For me, I the only one that we do that's a regimented is a Pizza Fridays.
Nice. Yeah, we do the same.
Homemade pizza on Fridays. So
Mhm.
how do you get to that point? You've been doing this for a lot longer than me, man. So how, and you've got 4 kids. I've got 2 plus, that's, I couldn't even imagine guys who have more than 2 kids trying to like do meal prep. I feel like that's a little bit of a hurdle for me in some ways.
It's a game changer. Once the kids outnumber the adults, things get interesting. I admit it. You have more kids than you have hands. So you have one kid that's running kind of rampant wherever you go. Is, hey, we go to the park. Where's your third kid? Ooh, well, I got the 2. So the other one will probably
and your age range too. You've got
Yeah.
kids that will eat meat, and then you have kids that will look at you like, "What's that?" I'm not eating that at all.
It is a struggle a lot of times, and I don't tailor my meals, I will say, for my kids. I make what we're going to make tonight. I have always, no matter what, if I'm introducing new foods or whatever I'm doing, but I've always given my kids the option. If you don't want to eat what we're having for dinner, you can have a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. I'm not the kind of person that says you have to eat what I put on the table, because of who they are, just so very different. And honestly, we have the luxury of being able to do that. I can make them a peanut butter and jelly sandwich if they don't want to eat, spaghetti or what have you. But for me, it was kind of a long process of getting each meal situated for my convenience, or my sanity would be a better way to put it, rather than trying to figure out exactly what each kid is going to eat.
Yeah.
There's an old joke basically that, in parenting, that okay, so last week I bought 4 bananas and the kids ate all of them in 2 seconds and were asking for more. So this week I bought 8 bananas, and they've been sitting there for the entire week, and one of them starting to rot, and nobody likes bananas this week.
And I made banana bread instead.
Right. I had to make banana bread. So the thought for me of trying to figure out a meal that all of my kids are going to like was just too difficult. And not that I wasn't willing and tried to figure it out. I really put some effort into figuring out, okay, well, this kid likes this kid likes this. Well, with 6 people eating, I can't make 6 meals a night. I just don't have that. Well, maybe I could, I don't know, but I'm going to say I won't. I'm just not going to do it. So we basically got to a point where I figured out what the easiest, somewhat nutritious meals. I kind of neglect nutrition sometimes just because I just want to get food in them. They're young enough to where, okay, they didn't eat their cauliflower or whatever. That's fine. They did eat, they're full, they're not going to bed hungry, they're growing, they'll figure it out. But I do things, Monday is, the youngest children call it choodles, but it's basically spaghetti, and the youngest eat noodles with just Parmesan sauce. And that's what they want. I have generally, I just mentioned cauliflower because that's probably the one we use on Mondays the most, because my kids will literally go into the refrigerator and just rip open a package of like a wrapped up head of cauliflower and just eat it. They're just little monsters like locusts. But we've had a vegetable garden for a long time, so vegetables are easy for them. But so Monday is basically spaghetti with a vegetable. Tuesdays, Taco Tuesdays. It's easy. Wednesday is, and I think, and this is a dish that my wife's dad made, so forgive me, everyone in Minnesota, if I wreck this name, but I think it's called Haluska or Haluski, but it's basically sausage, cabbage, and egg noodles. and it's really, really easy to make. It's kind of messy, you know, because you do have cabbage everywhere when you're done, but basically a head of cabbage fried in that sausage grease and some butter, and then the egg noodles added in, mix it all up, salt and pepper, and boom, you're done.
That sounds like a night to just open up the windows.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Every one of my kids eats it though. Even
That's
my
awesome.
most pickiest eater will these. Yeah, I'll eat the, you know, and maybe he'll eat just the egg noodles, maybe he'll eat just the sausage. So Thursday is generally chicken stir fry. And I say generally because my eldest daughter has asked, that's what she wants on Thursdays. And she works enough around the house, does her household work fairly well with a little motivation sometimes. And okay, so you want chicken stir fry, no problem. That's frozen vegetables for me and chicken in the Instant Pot. Boom, throw it together, make some sauce, put it on it, and we're done. And again, very easy to do. A lot of vegetables in that, fortunately, generally rice on the side. Friday is pizza. Saturday, Sunday, it just kind of wavers depending on what we're doing. If we don't have anything going on, then I'll generally cook more. If we have, you know, games and practices and everything else, I'll put a chili in the not in the spot in the crock pot, or, you know, have something that's just really easy to make in the afternoon. Leftover chicken, I'll make chicken salad sandwiches or something.
Yeah, I was gonna say, how much leftover do you typically have?
It depends on the meal. You know, remember the bananas, you know?
Right.
So,
right.
hey, I bought 8 bananas. Nobody likes bananas this week, Dad.
And
What
is
are
it
you doing?
and is that the same? Is that the regiment all like every week for you? Like that
Every
like,
week.
Every week, same.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Well, I will say Thanksgiving and Christmas is going to change things.
Sure.
And people's birthdays might change things. And it's really just a guideline more than anything else, so that when they ask me, and they ask me almost every day, hey, Dad, what's for dinner? I just ask them, well, what day is it? And then they will tell me what's for dinner. Oh, it's Monday, so we're having spaghetti. You got it. So that way I don't have to, you know, or even think about it, because I don't have any thoughts. By the time it's dinner time, I'm dead. My brain is mush. I can't parse anything well. So it makes it a lot easier in that way too. And I will generally cook, as an example, on Monday nights now, I'll cook enough ground beef to put in the spaghetti and have leftover to make the taco meat the next night.
Yeah, that's smart.
You know, because we double it up. I wouldn't say I want to cook every night. I just don't have the energy to do it every night. And just done. And like, oh, well, it's way easier if I have this pre-cooked.
Yeah.
The same with the chicken on Thursdays. I make a lot of extra chicken. And then, like I said, chicken salad, or chicken soup, you know, something, you know, chicken noodle soup with wontons in it or what have you. Just lots of stuff like that. So it depends on really figuring out what they like and then deciding this is the night we're doing that.
Okay.
You know,
yeah.
Taco Tuesday was the first one. It was easy to remember. And I just thought, well, that's a great idea. What are we doing on Mondays? Is it Meatloaf Monday? I don't care. We have to have a meal for that day, and then we can do it. So dinners are pretty much taken care of at that point, which is a huge, surprisingly, a big weight off my shoulders.
Yeah, it sounds like it. I like the fact that you've got a very stable and very structured dinner setup. That's cool for the kids to, and yourself, keep sanity.
Yeah.
And then, so for breakfast and lunches, I mean, like, so breakfast, like, I mean, just basic breakfast, like cereals and things like that.
On the weekends, I'll do things. I mean, I'll do pancakes or waffles, or like today I made a kind of I would say it's maybe like a casserole or a hot dish, depending on where you are in the world. But basically just hash browns with, you know, peppers and onions, and then bacon in it and cheese, and then basically get that all cooked to a point, and then put some eggs, just crack an egg into the top of it and put it in the oven for however long. And weekends again, and this this isn't really a weekend day, but it's kind of like more of a special time. But most of the days it's just get a bowl of cereal, or you want maybe an egg sandwich or something like that. I don't get too fancy, and I don't cook very much because we're all going during school. And when my wife is not working at home, especially, we're all going a different direction. Mm-hmm. So it comes down to, well, I can get everybody fed, but I cannot make everybody pancakes or an egg sandwich, or even some days even oatmeal every single day, you know, for everybody. So that's kind of just it's a hit or miss, I would say, on what I'm cooking or when for breakfast. But breakfast, nobody wakes up very well. Nobody's really ready to, talk about their meal or what they want. They're just like, when you just put some food in front of me and then I'll wake up. So that's a little easier meal, I think.
Yeah, definitely. I agree. So very cool. So listening to how you're kind of going about things, definitely a bit different than what I do.
Sure.
So even before I became a stay-at-home dad, I did a lot of cooking. I tend to be the one that sort of ventured toward that. And my wife and I, like we would team up and do some cooking together from time to time, or if I had something going on, like she would take it on, but typically it was just me. And I like variety. So when I was hearing you like every week, I'm like, nope, I couldn't do that. Like that would just drive me too much. Like one, I think in my kids, like, because we did that for a while, we were doing the same type of things, and the kids were like, "What? Can we do something different? We did that last week." And I'm like, "All right, fine." Like, try to figure something else out. But
sure.
So we had all these different meals, and we were using recipes that we already had, and we kept using them over and over again. And I remember like one time, like going out to eat for a date, and my wife was sitting across from me, and she's like, "How do you think like the meals are going? Like meal prep stuff is going?" And I'm like, honestly, I feel like something needs to change. And she's like, I'm so glad you said that. And we got on this conversation where it was like, all right, like we got to find some new recipes. Like I love to cook. I've worked in kitchens before, and I love to just cook things. And of course, sometimes a lot of times when you work in a kitchen, like you're cooking different things. So there's a constant rotation. And so I was like, all right, like what can I do? For me, I ended up like Googling like meal plans. I'm like, who's got a meal plan out there? Someone's got to have something. And I kept finding like different, like some people would have ones that they wanted you to pay. And I'm like, I'm not paying you. Like there's somebody out there's got something for free somewhere. And we shop at Aldi all the time. That's one of our big things. And I just happened to come across this blog called mashupmom.com. And I'll put a link for everybody to check this out. But honestly, for budget purposes, it's the most amazing website ever. Like this blog is amazing. Like it is mind blowing, and it has changed how I cook. It has changed like the whole routine of it. So what happens every week? Mashup Mom comes out with a menu for the week. So it's 6 days basically, because like one of the days is a pizza night, so it fits perfectly into our schedule. Because like we're gonna have a pizza night. This is perfect. So six nights of food for dinners.
Yep.
For a family of 4, and the total cost for just the and she puts not only the menu, like what the rest, like what it's gonna be. She has links to all the recipes. And then on top of it, she gives you the grocery list.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's like, it's all just given to you on a silver platter.
Yeah, definitely.
And on top of that, the budget for it, it's $60 typically, like maybe a little bit over.
Wow.
Yeah. So 6 meals, family of 4, $60.
Wow.
Weekly.
That's I don't want to say unbelievable because I believe you, but wow, that's impressive.
It is very impressive. And, there's staple items that you have to buy. Like there's different little things, but just to be able to say like, I can make these meals. And on top of that too, like I have little ones, man. I mean, they don't need so much, honestly.
Yeah.
So there's always leftovers. Yeah. So for me, it's really nice because that means like lunch the next day. Like, all right, sweet. I'll eat what was from dinner last night. No big deal. But yeah, mashupmom.com. And there's a different meal plan every single week. And there's times where like I might look through like what's on there and I'm like, there's no way that my kids are going to eat some of this stuff. Like it's just not going to is this not going to go well?
Yeah.
And so I actually can look back at like past weeks, and the prices might be a little bit different, but they're usually not too far off. So, but still, I mean, it's still reasonable. Yeah. But yeah, I can go back and I can just pick a menu out from that. And then the nice part is too, like I take the grocery list, I'll copy it, and then I'll actually put it in my phone as a checklist. So then I just pull it up on my phone. I'm just like walking down, like clink, okay, check, got that. Yeah, because you got like the bubble checklist on the notes, so it's check like
each one out.
Going through there with a little stylus, like pink, pink, pink. All right, got all these things. This is great.
Sweet.
And that's been the biggest thing for me, because my wife, when we got to doing it with like the whole cooking thing, she was like, this has made you like less tense, and
Ooh.
like made it to where like you're not like kind of having this like, I don't know what we're having for dinner moment, or
Yeah.
I'm not happy with what we have in the house to make for dinner. It's like I've already looked at it, I've already like agreed like this is what we're doing, and it's there. I don't The only time I get asked like what's for dinner from the kids is usually like when they come home from school.
Mhm.
Like what we having tonight, you know? Other than that, like I don't have to like give them any sort of spiel for it, which is kind of nice.
And you already have an answer anyway,
Right.
too, which is, for me, the big stress part was, I don't know. Can you just, I'll figure it out when I get in the kitchen in 2 hours or whatever.
Definitely. Yeah. And so it takes away that stressor, you know, it's like, all right, I already know what's going to happen. And the nice part too is like,
That's awesome.
you know, things like thawing out chicken or whatever, like you can look at it the night before, be like, all right, I need to pull the chicken out. I need to pull this hamburger out and thaw it out, whatever it is. And it's all good. And then too, like we do stuff off of that too. Like I'll have just like, I'll buy like large amounts of hamburger or large amounts of chicken. And it's like, all right, like I can do different things with this stuff, you know, like I'll make like a crock pot, like white chicken chili, or I make my own award-winning chili.
Ooh.
So I've won a couple of trophies for my my chili.
Nice.
So at Super Bowl parties.
That may need to be an episode. Just
the golden ladle award, the golden ladle trophy a couple of years in a row. So
very cool.
So nice. 1 year I did it with hamburger and venison, and then the other years I've just done it with hamburger and sausage. So it's throwing all this stuff in there, it's good. But yeah, I mean, I think that having that ability to sort of rely on that resource is super helpful. And two, like all these, so I keep seeing commercials for it in some places, but it is such like the place where it's like, oh, no way you're gonna have good stuff. But their things have gotten so much better now. I actually like to sing their praises all the time, because they're owned by the brother of Trader Joe's. So a lot of the stuff, like it feels like a Trader Joe's a little bit in there, and the food quality is actually really good now compared to what it used to be maybe when you were a kid. And you're like, Mom, you bought stuff from Aldi? No way, I'm not eating that sawdust. No way. So yeah. And two, I'll tell you, this is a good one. So this is a little fun little secret. So my wife and I, we try to do like little fun just date nights at the house. They have really good beer and wine selection at Aldi. But on top of that, they have macaroons there. And typically macaroons are pretty expensive, you know? Yeah. You can get they're in the frozen section. They are a box of them of like 12 is like $5. And you set them out, let them thaw. They're delicious. So good. So good. So fun little dessert portion there. So yeah. So that's been a huge, just a huge weight lifted off of me to be able to have just a resource that's already pretty much giving me everything I need, everything from a grocery list to a menu and the recipes for it all in one.
Yeah, it solves so many problems and makes it just so much easier. It sounds great.
Yeah. So that's what we do for our routine. And then like, you know, breakfast is basically like cereals and bagel and oatmeal, that kind of stuff. And the kids can just grab what they want. Like they're self-sufficient in the morning. They get up and they can make their own food and things like that. And lunch, you know, typically I'm sending, it depends, like peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, salami sandwiches, whatever. You know, I usually ask them like, hey, what do you want for lunch to go? And they basically will tell me, you know, while I'm packing their lunch to go to school, and it's usually not too bad. Sometimes they'll get sent with like leftovers of if that's something that they requested, you know, like my oldest will be like, is there any pizza left over? Like he's an black olive pizza guy. So
nice.
Yeah, so we'll do black olive pizza. I'm like, yeah, you can do that. He started putting pineapple on it. I was like, I don't know if you're going to be able to stay in this family. He started requesting pineapple on his pizza. I'm like, oh, we're going to have issues with this one. He's one step away from a Hawaiian pizza. He just
I can love you. I don't have to love your choices. Just saying.
Right, exactly. You can eat your pizza out on the porch. But yeah, so it's like I said, like the routine for food has been pretty nice. I just wish I could get them to actually like eat more of like the proteins like meat and things with a little bit more ease. I feel like that's its own other side of that's its own conversation. Oh man, they'll eat vegetables till the day they die. They love them, but only on occasion can I get them to eat certain kinds of meats, and it just varies in what I'm cooking it in. So it can be a bit of a struggle.
Every kid in every family. And it's just, I mean, it's like adults, and kids are very much like adults. They're just small adults. Sometimes you just don't like what you don't like, and it's not, I don't have any problem getting my kids to eat really any food. It's kind of the opposite. It's kind of like, no, stop eating. What are you doing? Are you grazing here? Get out. But I have one picky eater, my 7-year-old, and he just doesn't like anything. And it's just a matter of, it's not, he'll eat some vegetables, maybe he'll eat some, like, can I just have nachos, Dad? Can you just give me a plate of chips, sprinkle some cheese on it, and just put it in the microwave? That's all I need. It doesn't even have to have, salsa or anything, just chips and cheese. I'm like, okay. I mean, you get to a point, you're not going to fight them on some things, as long as they're getting some, I don't even want to call that nutrition, but maybe nourishment. It's really funny what different kids. I mean, before my oldest, I remember my wife and I, we had steak. That was like an IHOP steak. So like a breakfast steak, but it was meat. And she was, it was after camping. So we were on our way home from camping. It was the only thing open, that early in the morning. We broke camp and got out and went right by. And I don't even think she had teeth. Right. But she was, we had big kids, right? It's all big babies. And she looked at that, and my wife said, would you want some of the steak? And she just like lunged at it almost like a dog. It's like, and I'm like, all right. So she's going to be a meat eater. Cool. But she'll sit in there, and oldest, most intelligent, you would think, at least wisest in some way. And she's the one that will go in there and open up the fridge, rip open the head of lettuce bag, and just grab a handful out and just leave it in there and close the door and walk away. And I'm just thinking, what kind of monster raised you? Because it wasn't me. I can't let you. This is not possible. But it's really interesting.
My kids, like, they were eating like hamburger and chicken and all that stuff really well. And then all of a sudden it was like, we're on strike. We're not eating any of it. I'm like, wait, what happened to my meat eating child? Like, this was so easy. And now it's like, I'm fighting with you to like eat your food. It's really ridiculous. But yeah, it's the ebb and flow of parenthood in so many ways. But
yes, absolutely.
Oh, it's been a long day, man. But yeah, so hopefully this conversation gave everybody a chance to just hear some routines and gave you some ideas on some things. Like I said, I'll put a link for mashupmom.com for everybody to check out. Hopefully it'll be helpful for you as well. Thanks everybody also just who's been tuning in and listening to us recently. Our viewership has gone up dramatically. It's been really cool to see the amount of people that have been listening and the comments that I've been hearing from folks. So we just want to thank you for listening in, and we hope that you continue to do that and also share it with any of your friends that might enjoy it. And I think the last bit of this is we just want to wish y'all a happy new year. And it's a new year. There's some light at the end of the tunnel with things going on in this world, and just stay positive. And I hope that if you're in a bad situation, that things turn around for you. And if you're in a good situation, I hope you're looking for people that you can help that are maybe in a not so good situation. So thanks for listening, and we'll be coming back at you again real soon.
I'm a dad, that's what I do.